all, happy to see you all in the next video session. In the previous video session, we have been discussing about the phenylketonuria and the diet to be followed in the phenylketonuria. So today we are here with another fresh topic, that is the stages of prenatal life. Here we will be seeing about the different life stages of human development. So I am Ms.Fathima Aafreen, Assistant Professor, Department of Nutrition Dietetics, SFO College for Women. So here we are going to see about the stages of prenatal life. We are seeing about the prenatal life just because we are getting into the nutrition. So nutrition is the next chapter we are going to see in the upcoming videos. So to get into the nutrition through life cycle, we must be able to know about the life stages. So to know about the life stages, we are here starting with the classification of human life stages, and there we are starting with prenatal development. So the contents of the video will be from the classification of the child development, then we will be seeing about the prenatal period, the stages of prenatal period and the importance of each stage. So let's get into the video. So first, getting into the prenatal life, we will be seeing about the classification of child development. Human development stages are given by Harlock. Harlock classified the human life stages into different life pattern. It initially starts with prenatal period. Prenatal period starts from the time of conception, that is from the fertilization process to birth. The prenatal life is always inside the mother's womb, that is the fetal growth is, we will be studying about the fetal growth. Next, after birth, so infancy, the stage after birth is infancy. Birth to 2 weeks we will be considering in the human development for infancy, whereas in nutrition through life cycle we will be considering birth to 2 years as infancy period. We won't be taking care of babyhood into the nutrition. So in human development we will be seeing infancy, birth to 2 weeks, then we will be seeing about babyhood. Babyhood, it is from 2 weeks to 2 years. Then comes the childhood. Childhood is from 2 years to puberty. So childhood is then deviated into two types, that is early childhood and late childhood. Early childhood is 2 to 6 years, whereas late childhood is 6 to 11 years, that is till the time of puberty. So after that we will be entering into the stage that is known as adolescence. So here we will be called as teenagers. So at time the period or the interval is 12 to 18 years. So after that period we will be getting into adulthood. Adulthood starts from 18 to 60 years, but to be predominantly told, it will be starting from 20 years. Then comes old age. Old age is from after 60 years, above 60 years we will be considered as old age people. So this is how the classification of childhood as stated by Harlock. Prenatal, next infancy, then babyhood, childhood, adolescence, adulthood and old age. So this is the development stages. In further videos and upcoming videos we will be dealing with the nutrition that is required for the life stages that are needed for our good growth and development. So let's get into the stages. So this video is all about the stages of prenatal life. So what is prenatal life? Prenatal life, it always denotes the life before birth, that is from the time of conception. The prenatal life that begins from the time of conception and it ends only when the baby is born. After delivery the prenatal life stops and the life after birth starts. Okay, that is neonatal life, that is infancy. Okay, postnatal life where the baby is called as infant or neonate. So in prenatal life it is just the baby that is formed from the time of conception till birth. So this is the most important stage because this stage lays the foundation for the future developments of our body. Whatever may be the development, it's mental development, cognitive, health wise, organ system development, whatever it may be, but it all depends on this prenatal life period. So, the most important care should be given during this period, because we know pregnant women are always treated with much of care. So, this is what we are seeing. We are not going in depth about the pregnant women, we are going in depth about the growth and life stages of the fetus. Okay. So, in the prenatal life we will be seeing about 3 stages. So, as you saw in the picture, the germinal stage, it is the first stage, which is also known as the period of ovum. Second one is the embryonic stage, and the third one is the fetal stage. After fetal stage, at the end of 9 months, the baby will be delivered. Okay. Next, stages of prenatal life, as we saw earlier, the stage starts with the period of ovum. Period of ovum also has some interval, that is from fertilization to 2 weeks. From the time of fertilization to 2 weeks, the period is called as the period of ovum. At times the fertilized egg is called as zygote and it will be named as ovum. The second period is period of embryo. It begins from the time of implantation, that is around 2 weeks to 2 months. So, at times the ovum is now named as the embryo. Next, the third stage is period of fetus. In this stage, the stage begins from 2 months till birth. So, until the baby is born, the baby is termed as fetus from the time of 2 months. Okay. The baby may come out prematurely. At time also it is called as the period of fetus. 7 months also the delivery may happen, at 9 months also the delivery may happen. It differs with individuals. So, after birth the period is called as the infancy or neonatal period for that particular baby. Okay. So, first the period of ovum. The period of ovum begins from the time of conception. Conception is nothing but the fertilization of a single egg by a single sperm that occurs in our fallopian tube. Before the starting of menstrual cycle, during the secretory phase, at the 26th day, the ovum comes for fertilization and it waits for the conception. So, if it happens, the single egg gets fused with the sperm and now it is called as a single cell zygote. The fertilized egg is now called as the zygote. So, the zygote, after its conception, it divides and it multiplies to form the ovum, because it is the period of ovum. The zygote divides and multiplies to form ovum. The multiplied and divided ovum, now it gets into number of cell divisions and now it is to 2 and 3 and 4 and it will be divided into number of cells and increased number of cells. So, now what happens? The attachment of ovum to the uterine wall. From the fallopian tube, the ovum comes and attaches to the uterine wall with the help of some tendrils. Okay. This is the most important thing that must happen after fertilization. In the period of ovum, the fertilized zygote must come and implant, that is, it must attach to the ovum. The ovum must attach to the uterine wall. The specific process of attachment of ovum to the uterine wall is called as the implantation. Implantation occurs approximately over 10 days after fertilization and it differs with individuals. It is not as same for everyone. So, approximate time period is 10 days but not more than 2 weeks. Okay. So, period of ovum begins from the time of fertilization and it persists until the implantation occurs. Implantation most probably it occurs by 10 days or within 2 weeks it will happen. Okay. Implantation is nothing but the process of attachment of the ovum to the uterine wall. So, this is the most important step after fertilization. So, next comes the period of embryo. This period of embryo usually begins after the implantation. As soon as the implantation occurs, the period of embryo starts. So, in this you could see clearly the picture that the cell is divided into layers. In this embryo stage after implantation, 2 weeks to 2 months is the stage of embryo. So, at this stage there will be a distinct layers of ovum. Now it is called as the embryo. The outer layer is called as the trophoblast and the inner cell mass is present in the distinct embryo. Okay. The outer layer is called trophoblast, but the inner layer is further divided into 3 different cells, that is the outer layer ectoderm, middle layer mesoderm and the inner layer endoderm. These 3 layers will further develop in the fetal stage to the respective organs. For example, the outer layer ectoderm develops into the outer layer of the skin, hair, nail, parts of teeth, on whatever skin glands, sensory areas and nervous system, parts of teeth, etc. Okay. The middle layer mesoderm, as you saw in the picture, it will get developed into the inner skin layer, muscles, skeleton, circulatory and excretory organs. Okay. The inner layer, the in-depth layer endoderm, it will get developed into the entire gastrointestinal tract, trachea, that is our respiratory system gets developed in the endoderm region. Also our digestive system, pancreas, liver, salivary gland, thyroid gland and thymus gets developed in our endoderm, that is the inner layer. So talking about the outer layer trophoblast, it will develop into accessory tissues, that is which provides and nourishes the embryo. To nourish the embryo, nourish is nothing but the nurture with nutrition. So for the growth of the embryo to the next stage, for the further fetal stage, we are in need of protection and nourishment of that embryo. So this is given by the additional support, life supporting factor is given by the trophoblast, that gets developed into the additional life supporting substances, that is nothing but the umbilical cord, placenta and amniotic sac. So umbilical cord is the cord that connects the mother and the fetal. Okay, as we know, umbilical cord in Tamil it's called as toppal kodi. So we know it connects the mother and the fetus. That is, now it is called as the embryo. So it is a flexible cord that connects the fetus with the mother, that is connected to the placenta. So placenta is a membranous organ that relates the mother's bloodstream to the fetal bloodstream. So here the mother bloodstream enters and the fetal bloodstream ends. The particular membranous organ is called as the placenta. Okay. So this is also after birth it will be called as Nachupai. Okay. Then this is the place where the nutrients from the mother passes to the fetus and the excretory waste from the fetus gets into the placenta. So umbilical cord is the connecting cord, placenta is the membranous sac which connects the mother and the baby's bloodstream and the nutrients are passed through that. So finally the sac. Sac we know, amniotic sac, in Tamil it is called as Tannipai. Tannikudam odanjirchu, we will be Panikudam, we will be hearing about that, right. So that is nothing but the amniotic sac. So the amniotic sac is filled with amniotic fluid. So this acts as the buffer that prevents the baby from the shocks experienced by the mother. During the time of pregnancy, the mother may undergo number of shocks and the baby is protected from all such shocks because of the presence of amniotic fluid in the amniotic sac. Okay, this is the most important stage because if the baby is affected by any medications or any other problems that mother faces, then there will be the reason for abortion. So this is also the most important stage. So period of embryo has distinct layers, inner layer and the outer layer. Outer layer acts as the supporting, life supporting structures, whereas the inner layer develops into the further well structured organs, etc. Next, speaking about the period of fetus. So this is the final period. So it begins from the second month of pregnancy until birth, until the baby is coming out. So you can see the various stages from the fertilized egg to the division, then it will get into the embryonic stage and the fetal stage starts in the down pictures. Okay. So this period, here we will be seeing the body system which had the origin. So in the earlier stage, in the embryo stage, we have seen this layer will develop into the organ, this layer will develop into that organ. So, the actual development occurs in this stage, that is the period of fetus. So, during this stage the various body system which had their origin in the earlier stage, now it gets well functioned and well developed. It will develop into structure and it will also get functions. Okay. So, at in separate months it will be giving a separate development stages. So, in third month there will be the fetus growth will be 3-inch long. Also the gender of the fetus is distinguished at this stage, whether it is a boy or girl, but doctor won't tell you that it is a boy or girl, but the gender is distinguished at third month. Then the muscle are developed and the movements are started. So, the baby will move its arms, its leg, and the movements are started and at the third month. So, 3 months has 3 main feature, third month has the 3 main feature. The fetus is 3-inch long, the gender of the fetus is defined, the muscles are developed and the spontaneous movements are seen. Okay. Next, coming to the 4th month, as earlier in the 3rd month the spontaneous movements are developed, and in the 4th month the mother can also feel that movement. So, there is nothing but quickening, it is termed as quickening. Mother can feel the movement of the fetus. Okay. Next, in the 6th month the baby's eyelids develop and it is functional. So, the baby's eyelids get developed and the baby is capable of swallowing all the matters in the mother's womb. Next, the 7th month, all the bodily structures, so all body organs and systems are well structured at this time. The sufficient structuring of the body system happens at 7th month, so that even if the baby is born prematurely, it can survive because all the organ systems are well structured, just their development and further active movement of the baby is needed. So, premature babies are always good enough to survive. So, these are the stages of prenatal life. These stages are very important for the further future development of the baby. So, from the starting of fertilization, the baby's development begins. So, till the end, that is the period of fetus, and after birth the baby's development is noticed. So, the development is continuous and growth is continuous, it is unstoppable. So, with that sake, let us meet in the another video with nutritious information. So, happy to connect with you in the further videos. Thank you for watching the video. See you in the next video. Thank you.